whether we would be acceptable as far as to have the rupee part is concerned. I would also like to know, sir, that what we have really achieved when the G20 is going to come to an end in September 2023. It has been going on. We are having a number of functions around the year, and in different states the functions have been held. In fact, it was very encouraging that we had one of the meets in Jammu, Srinagar. I think we had the meets in Srinagar. It was very encouraging. Now, we had our
former Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, as per our guest in chief. Friends, effective multilateralism is crucial in the current multipolar world, and policy coordination between multilateral groupings with a focus on G20 and G7 is necessary to address the challenges faced by the international community. India's opportunity to shape the G20's agenda and hence multilateral governance at the global high table comes at a point of inflection. In the midst of transformative geopolitical, geoeconomic and technological changes, India calls for inclusiveness, and multilateral diplomacy will be put to test. How natural resources can be aligned in the face of diverse national strategies to find global solutions will remain the primary task of G20. In this context, India has a major role to perform. The first is the climate crisis. Failure to meet global targets on emissions and greening runs the risk of climate change overtaking geopolitics and shaping the world order in ways that we simply cannot predict. However, India has made impressive commitments in moving away from fossil fuels to green energy, and its record in protecting its forests, rivers and environment in general.
There's a discussion that's ongoing at the chamber on the G20 issues, and I thought I would pick the subject that we did, which is India needs the world and the world needs India, and the G20 moment in it. Now, this particular theme was not uttered by me in the first instance. In 2017, at the inaugural of the second Raisina dialogue, Prime Minister Modi himself had said these words. And I think he knew at that point of time the way India was proceeding and the way India would exchange and interact with the rest of the world. So I think it's a very apt moment for us, because with G20, a lot of it comes more into being. I think what's also important to recognize is that the agenda for 2020, as set out in terms of the priorities by India, is in some ways an extension of the domestic focus that we have on progress and development. And I think the way we wish for our country and our citizens, we wish for the rest of the world. And so you have an agenda that is inclusive, that is ambitious, and that's action-oriented. Quite the way the agenda on the domestic front is as well. We have made significant progress, I think, in the domestic front on, say, for instance, digital public goods, which have brought inclusivity to a great extent. We've shared our benefits with the rest of the world through vaccine Maitri. And we've also had a very people-oriented approach, and we find all these happening in the G20. In the first 6 months of the G20, we've put this into action. We see there's great need for peace and prosperity both. And these two must happen, not just for us, because we believe we are one large family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and that's how the maxim of our G20 agenda came out as one earth, one family, one future. And that's the way we wish to go ahead with it. I remember some years ago, this was 2008, we were in Kyoto, and Japan was hosting the G8 summit. And at that point of time, there was a mechanism known as the G8 Plus. There were 5 additional countries that would be added by rotation. Somehow India was always invited to those meetings.